Welcome, creative friends. Today I'm going to show you how I made these cute little books and the larger recipe books. Now, I'm also going to show you how I made this faux leather, which I have not seen anybody on YouTube do it the way I did. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's call it Kara's faux leather technique. First, we get a dryer sheet, a used one, and iron it flat. Then I'm going to use my non-yellowing varnish, which yellows the minute it dries. I'm going to be putting it all over cardstock. And I'm using my canvas just for the plastic because varnish does not stick to it. I can peel it off. And when you're putting the varnish on, always from the middle going out. And this is how it looks after it dried. Non-yellowing. Now here I'm using the same cardstock, but cutting it into little strips to make my pages. And I didn't like these clips because they don't really hold on to it properly. And I used these when I glued them on, and these held it. Here I'm using my faux leather and making larger strips, which are going to be the book covers. Just folding them in half, not really pressing tight. I just need to know the marker. I cut them into smaller pieces because I wanted to paint them with many colors and see how would they turn out. This is the first time I'm using it, and I didn't want to make a big quantity and then oops, I don't like it. So I'm just making little strips, like every one would be like 4 books or something like that. I think it looks like real leather. And here are all the different colors that I color them. Just trying them all out. When there's varnish, the color really doesn't stick 100%. You can see dark and light. I tried it with normal glue, and the color was one solid color. You don't get those variations. Now I'm just gluing it to one side and flipping it over to the other side. And I'm going to do it to all of them. Put clips until they dry, and I'm going to start cutting them up. I already have them marked, but you can't see them, very light marks. It needs like between 4 and 5 times and a really sharp new blade. And you can use an eraser to erase your pencil markings. Nothing will happen to it. And now I'm just putting up some decorations, and this is fingernail art stickers. Of course, you can do whatever you like. And here I clipped them, like a bunch of them, 5 I think, into whatever fit in my clip. And I'm just taking a pen, some I use black, some I use the gold, just to make these little markings. And I put them on the shelves using Stickum, but this is not their original place. They're gonna be moved to a better place. This is just temporary. Now I'm using 1 inch width, which is my ruler, perfect width. And this is going to be copy paper, from printer copy paper. I'm showing you how I measured it. I found out if I use a heavy weight on the papers, they don't move a lot, which makes it easier And of course, having this heavy metal ruler helps. Here I'm going to glue them, but not with tacky glue like I did the small ones, because some of the pages fell out. I'm going to be using super glue. And this one really held. Like, I didn't lose one page. After it dried, alright, I'm going to be putting a small piece of cheesecloth. Just using tacky glue. This is to help it stay bonded together and never ever coming apart. I'm just trimming off all the excess, making it look pretty. Now, because the glue is still a little bit wet, when I stuck it on my cutting board, it did not move. And having this heavy ruler also helps. And I'm going to fix the edges because they weren't 100%, especially that I glued two pieces or two cutout layers together. And it's very easy to straighten the edges. Now I'm going to be measuring the faux leather that I made. I'm going to be measuring the pages themselves with almost more than 1 centimeter. I'm just eyeballing it to get an almost estimate of how big I need to cut it. Now I cut 2 rectangles out of cereal box, just 1 millimeter from 3 sides bigger than the pages. And here I'm just going to be coloring it with some gold to make the pages look nice. Here I'm gluing on a nylon string for the bookmarker. And now I'm gluing on one of the rectangles and checking to see the placement of it and if it's perfect. You see where the book connects, it's the same size. It's only bigger from 3 angles. And now when I'm going to be putting on the second piece of cardboard, I have to be very careful that they're both aligned. Just making sure everything fits properly. And now I have to bend it, and I did notice because it's cardstock, it was quite hard. And I didn't like the effect it was going to show if I put the pages and glued them on. So I needed to remove an extra layer of that paper. I have a craft stick. I just wrapped around it a small piece of sandpaper, and I'm removing a lot of the extra paper until I only get the thinnest piece. It's more like now fabric. That's what it feels like. I'm just gluing the edges, which I'd like to make things hard for myself. I don't know why. But then I discovered, okay, there's an easier way to put glue than this way. Just put it on the fabric itself or my faux leather. Live and learn. I always like making things complicated. You see? Much easier, cleaner. But, Anyway, now I'm cutting off these little corners. Make the book nice and tidy. And if you see some white, and like mine, I didn't cut them 100%. Very easy to fix it. Just a little bit of the same acrylic paint that you used and cover that little bit up, and voila, problem solved. Now all I need to do is glue the pages to the book cover. Best way to get very thin layer of glue is using your finger. Now I need to really position it because once it's dry, that's it. I'm removing a little bit extra glue, but you notice I'm not going to glue the bottom part where the book is binded, just the pages, because that will rip if I do. This book is going to be functional and opening, and I can't glue that part. And now to secure it until it dries, a few clamps. After it dried, I'm Mod Podging it, and of course put my decorations and stickers on it. Mod Podge everything. And here I'm trying to make some potion recipes for Jasmine to use. She's been noticing that the world doesn't have that much love in it, so she wants to make a big giant pot of love potion to give to everybody. Maybe that will make the world a kinder place. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like, subscribe, and I'd really love to hear from you. Bye.